Good morning, Malta and Gozo, and welcome to another episode of Lovin Daily. I'm your host, Ben, and today I'm joined with Chris. And these are our 5 stories of the day. Ex-Burma Rat Priest gets jail time after forcing minor to masturbate him. 25-year-old Corradino prisoner found dead in his cell. Malta records 173 new COVID-19 cases and 135 recoveries overnight. Stunning record set to keep up longest undefeated streak in history by far. Lidl dismisses rumour of mass recall to Italy as clothing line disappears from Malta's stores. So let's start off with the first story of the day about the Burma Rat Priest. Former Burma Rat Priest, Donald Bellizzi, it was confirmed on appeal that he will be getting 3 years jail time for forcing a minor to masturbate him. Bellizzi, who seemed to be a well-loved priest, and the Burma Rat community used to invite youths that were aspiring to be priests to the Burma Rat Franciscan convent, and it was actually during one of those trips that the abuse took place, that Bellizzi abused the minor. Also important to say that even after the abuse, Bellizzi, who was friends with the victim's family, kept visiting the victim's house. After this news broke, an individual kickstarted an online petition, which has since, as of this morning, amassed more than 1,000 signatures to lengthen Bellizzi's petition and make it longer than 3 years. Chris, next story of the day.
Yeah. To lengthen his jail term, right?
His jail term, yes.
It must be said, I think, as well, that there's this culture of the church getting away with so many crimes like this. It's good to see that actually someone has been jailed for it. A story this morning, a sad breaking story this morning, that a 25-year-old prisoner has been found dead in his cell. The man was a Pakistani. The initial reports are that he died in his sleep. It must be said that this is the 11th death in prison in 2 years. There's a big discussion right now about the conditions in prison and how and why there are so many unexplained deaths. There was also recently reports of an attempted escape. As well, it's worth mentioning that we're publishing a book about the situation in prison. Daniel Holmes spent 8 years in prison, serving a 10-year jail term, and he wrote the details of the situation inside. So check that out, and we'll keep pushing to understand what happened with this 25-year-old who was found this morning at 6 a.m. dead in his cell.
Yes, and with that we move on to the next story of the day, a bit of a COVID-19 update. Yesterday, Malta recorded 173 new COVID-19 cases and 135 recoveries. Now, these numbers bring Malta's total number of active cases up to 2,133. A few interesting developments in Europe's fight against COVID-19 yesterday, as well as in the global race to find a vaccine. So to start off, yesterday it was found that the COVID-19 virus was actually found in Italy way back in summer 2019. Now, it is still believed that the virus originated in China, in Wuhan. However, some way or another, the virus made its way from there straight to Italy way back then. Apart from that, yesterday Malta saw another unfortunate COVID-19 related death. This was a 74-year-old man, and this latest update brings Malta's COVID-19 death toll up to 104. Now, on to some information about the vaccines. So yesterday it was announced that the European Union will be securing 1.2 billion vaccine doses from 5 different companies. Now there's pretty much no excuse not to take the vaccine. Apart from that, Pfizer, one of the pharmaceutical companies developing the vaccine, yesterday confirmed that their vaccine is 94% effective in people over 65. Apart from that, earlier today, the vaccine being developed at the Oxford University was shown to have a very strong immune response in elderly. Now, the elderly communities all around the world are notably the most vulnerable to this virus. Chris?
Move on to a sports story. Yesterday, as you know, people were still a bit butthurt about the situation with Malta's football team that we drew with the Faroe Islands in a match that many people say was stolen from Malta, that Malta could have managed if it was given a penalty or not given an offside. But it must be said that we should celebrate that this match is a historic match for Malta, because Malta has now an undefeated streak of 7 matches. And just to put that in context, this has never been achieved for Malta. This is a historic first. And it's a historic first by far, because the last time we had an undefeated streak was of 4 matches. And that was in 1981. So we're doing a lot better this year than ever before. And you know, congratulations to the Maltese football team, and we hope this undefeated streak continues.
Yes, certainly. On to the last story of the day. Lidl dismisses rumours of mass recall to Italy as clothing line disappears from Malta stores. So as I'm sure everyone has heard, the latest trend in global fashion is actually Lidl's latest clothing line called Lidl Fan. So Malta earlier this week actually saw the arrival of its first Lidl Fan products. And whilst people abroad seem to be going crazy for this line of clothing, the hype hadn't actually yet arrived in Malta. So stocks weren't depleting as far as they were in, let's say, Italy and Finland, where the items were getting sold out in practically a matter of minutes. So in light of this, there were rumors circling that Malta's stock of Lidl Fan clothing will be getting sent back to Italy to restock Italy's stores, where there seemed to be a much higher demand. However, Lidl representatives said that they had no idea that this was happening. And they also noted that it is impossible to stock up all 600 Lidl stores in Italy with the stock given to Malta's handful of stores. Having said that, before the rumors were dismissed, a couple of Maltese people actually got pretty angry about this, with one person actually saying that they were disgusted at this and they were tired of Maltese people being treated like third-class citizens.
Are you a Lidl fan or a sneakerhead?
No, I mean, I don't mind them, but I doubt I'd wear them myself out in public.
They look pretty good, I must say, better than I thought they would. Okay, that brings us to the end of the show. Thanks for watching. Lovin Daily will be with you again tomorrow, and have a day full of lovin'.